The last couple of years have been stressful and difficult for most, but it's been even more difficult for workers, particularly those in the retail and service industries. A lot of these employees are working longer hours because of the reduced number of employees. Unfortunately, to make matters worse, a lot of these employees are working without proper training. Even with proper training, the lack of adequate staffing may mean that employees are having to work faster on top of working longer hours. This is all a recipe for disaster that could result in an on-the-job injury. What do you do then? Hello, my name is Brian Tadros. I'm an attorney located in Central Florida who handles only Florida workers' compensation cases. I've been handling these types of cases since 2004, and something unique about my practice is that I represent injured workers in some cases while representing employers and their insurance companies in other cases. I believe handling cases on both sides helps me provide better representation for all of my clients. This video is going to provide an overview of the workers' comp claim process in Florida. The beginning of any workers' comp claim is an accident at work resulting in an injury. One of the most common accidents we see are those from lifting or twisting. These actions can result in injuries to the spine or other joints of the body. These are typically obvious. Someone lifts a heavy box at work and has low back pain. But what about someone who works in a warehouse who does repetitive heavy lifting and has sudden onset of back pain at the end of the day? This may be work-related depending on the person's past medical history and the opinions of doctors involved in the case. Keep in mind that injuries primarily caused by intoxication or injuries intentionally caused to oneself are not covered. Ultimately, if you establish that your injuries were primarily caused by your on-the-job accident, you can receive benefits. But all of that is putting the cart a little before the horse. What happens immediately after an accident? Well, the first thing you should do is report the accident to your employer. If you can do this in writing, via email, or even via text, that would be best. You only have 30 days to report your injuries to your employer. The next thing you should do is ask for medical treatment. In workers' compensation cases, you can't just go to your family doctor. The insurance company gets to pick your doctor. Asking for treatment right away gets the ball rolling on your recovery. When you see the doctor, be sure to tell him or her about all of your symptoms, even the minor ones. They may seem minor at first, but they may get worse over time. And especially if there's any kind of paperwork that you're required to complete at the doctor's office, make sure you list all of your injuries. At your visit, your doctor will examine you, provide a diagnosis, indicate whether you are able to work or not, and make treatment recommendations. You can only receive two kinds of benefits in a Florida workers' comp claim: indemnity, which is what we call lost wage benefits, and medical benefits. Your ability to obtain either boils down to what the doctors say. What if you're not happy with or disagree with your doctor? You're allowed a one-time change in treating physician. This will be to a doctor in the same medical specialty. However, the insurance company gets to pick that doctor as well. The ultimate goal of treatment is, of course, recovery. You probably will never have a 100% recovery. So once you've recovered as much as possible, your doctor will place you at what we call MMI, or maximum medical improvement. At this point, your normal checks that you've been receiving from the insurance company will stop. If you have a permanent impairment rating to your body, the doctor will assign a percentage of your body that is permanently impaired. Depending on the percentage assigned, you will receive a specific number of weeks of what we call impairment income benefits, or IIBs. You won't be paid any lost wage benefits after that unless you're unable to work at all. But remember, just because you may be at MMI doesn't mean that you aren't entitled to continued treatment. If your doctor thinks you need continued treatment to maintain your health, you're still entitled to that follow-up treatment. We've briefly talked about indemnity benefits, but let's discuss that in greater detail. You've been hurt at work and are suffering physically, but you got a family to provide for still. Workers' comp doesn't pay you your full paycheck, but you shouldn't have to go completely without and fight for what the law requires you to be paid. Unfortunately, delays do occur. Even without delays, you won't receive your first check right away, but will likely receive it within 21 days of a doctor saying you're unable to work because of an injury. You won't be paid for the first 7 days of your disability until after your disability has lasted over 21 days. When you're out of work completely, meaning a doctor says you can't work at all, you'll be paid what we call TTD, or temporary total disability benefits. These benefits are paid out at 66 2/3% of what we call your average weekly wage. Things are a bit more complicated when you're on light duty work restrictions from your doctor. If the employer has work for you within your restrictions, you have to go back and perform it. You may still be owed some money from the insurance company, but only if your wages fall below 80% of your average weekly wage. If your employer says they have no work for you within your restrictions, you stay home, but you get paid less than when the doctor says you can't work at all. Under these circumstances, you get 64% of your average weekly wage rather than 66 2/3%. Along the way, your claim could potentially settle. Settlement entails you giving up your right to any further benefits under your case, giving up your job with the employer, giving up your right to work for the employer in the future, and giving up any potential legal action you could bring against your employer for a one-time single lump sum amount of money. Whether you should settle your case or not is a personal decision. However, you should speak with an attorney who can explain to you what your case is worth and why, as well as what workers' comp does and does not provide, so that you can make an informed decision. The insurance company will provide no further payments or medical treatment once the case has been settled. If you've stuck with us through this whole video, you're likely overwhelmed. That's okay. Getting a lawyer involved is easy and costs nothing up front. We only get paid if your case settles or we file a lawsuit and are successful. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope this video helped you understand the Florida workers' comp system. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Certainly, if you have any questions, please contact us at 407-531-8477 for a free consult. And anytime you need any assistance, you can reach out to us at bdtlawfirm.com, making workers' comp work for you.